Alright, what's up everyone, it is I, Magician, and it's time for another monthly review. Okay, I don't even know why I just blanked like that. So of course this is the monthly vlog that I usually release at the end of the month. It's July and we're going to be talking about what's been happening in June 2014. So, as per usual, this video is split into three parts. First part is about life, second part is about what's been happening in the channel, and then the third part is what's been happening in gaming. So actually this surprisingly surprising amount to talk about in all three areas. So let's begin with what's been happening in my life. And of course it's the holidays, which is why I have so much free time. Of course I still have to go to work and all of that, but that's not that big of a problem. And yeah, so part of having a holidays means I get to go out and actually do something interesting, like go watch movies, play more games. I'm quite a recluse actually, yeah. Anyway, that's all of that. Also, in other news, and this was pretty big last month, New South Wales finally won the State of Origin. So basically what State of Origin is, it's an NRL tournament between New South Wales and Queensland, and we New South Wales are called the Blues, and Queensland are called the Maroons, or sometimes the Reds. Some people call them the Bloods, I think, maybe. Anyway, in about 9 years ago, New South Wales lost to Queensland, and then for the next 9 years until this year, they just kept losing. It's a best 2 out of 3, with the third game always played, even if one team already wins 2 games, they still play the third game for the hell of it. So for the past 9 years, New South Wales was losing, and this year they finally won. They finally beat the Maroons with a 2-0 score. At the moment, we are going to be playing the third game soon, although nobody really cares about it a lot now as opposed to before. So yeah, it was pretty big, and if you want to just read up on it, it's rugby. It's rugby, and it was a very close game for both games. So the first game, we ended up with a score of 12-8, which is essentially 3 tries to 2. And what a try essentially is, if you're American, is a touchdown. So it was basically the difference between a try score. And then for this game, the score was 6-4, was it, or was it 6-2? I can't remember. In fact, let's have a look at game 2 score. It was. Come on, internet. It was 6-4. And what that basically means is it's the difference between a field goal, because 2 points is a field goal. So I don't remember what happened. I think Queensland scored 2 field goals. New South Wales managed to get a try and a field goal. So yeah, it was 2 penalties. I can't remember. Anyway, that was that, and everybody got pretty drunk, and it was a lot of fun to just watch. Also, what's been happening right now is the FIFA World Cup in Brazil, as I managed to shake the camera a little bit from smashing the table. So yeah, the FIFA World Cup is happening right now. Australia is out. Big freaking whoop. We were placed in the worst possible position ever. Like, there was basically almost very little chance of winning. In fact, every game during the group stages, the bets were sitting at well over $5. In fact, there was in the Australia versus Netherlands game, Australia versus Dutch game, Australia to win was sitting at $16. Literally, we had no chance of winning, but we managed to score 2 goals against the Dutch, and that's actually really impressive. And at one point we were leading. So I'm happy. I'm perfectly okay with the Socceroos' performance in Brazil. Of course, they're now back home, along with a bunch of other teams, which is unfortunate, but I don't really care because now I'm cheering for the Dutch and Germany, Netherlands. Let's see if they can do it. Netherlands is Dutch, Germany, and Brazil. What am I talking about? So yeah, yeah, like in fact the TAB, which is our major sporting sort of organization here, is kind of say like back green and gold, so you can back Australia and then you can also back Brazil. Because why the hell not? Okay, so right now, like I said, I'm right now in holiday mode, so I have a lot of time to play games and record stuff, which is why and that of course will move on to what's been happening in the channel. So first of all, we had a Battlefield 3 campaign playthrough action series of about, I think it was about 8 videos or something like that. Yeah. So yeah. So what happened? Okay, so like that's now a part of the channel, so that's good. As well as I'm right now in the middle of a Bioshock Infinite campaign playthrough, so that's great. I just finished about an hour's worth of playing, an hour's worth of campaign, which I'm not going to be able to upload in one foul swoop because that's 1.3 gig. It's big. Especially on Australian copper wire internet, which is just complete trash. I said that last month and I'll say it again, it's absolute rubbish. Yeah, alright, so let's move on to what's been happening in gaming. And of course last month there was a very big event that happened in gaming, and that was of course E3, the Electronic Expo. Oh, what does E3 stand for again? Oh, I can't remember. Let's see, E3 stands for... What does E3 stand for? Oh, the Electronic Entertainment Expo, that's right. So, of course there was some big press conferences from both Microsoft and Sony. I don't really care about the Xbox One because I don't have an Xbox and I don't really want to have an Xbox. But the PlayStation 1, of course, a lot of people are talking about like how Sony decided to talk a little bit more about the meta of being a business and how well they're doing. And they also talked about this thing called Powers, which frankly as soon as I saw it I'm like, what the hell is this? Shut up Sony, shut up Sony. I wish they would talk a little bit more about Vita. Like they didn't even they only spent about 5 minutes on Vita, and I really would like them to talk more about it because there is a lot more stuff coming out. Like for example Minecraft, Freedom Wars, maybe a new Gundam game eventually, hopefully, I don't know. Okay, that's my Vita. Yeah, meanwhile, of course, I'm still on my Vita, as always. I'm actually playing the crap out of Destiny of Spirits, because they're having some sort of summer sale thing, where Destiny orbs are like dirt cheap if they're bought in packets of more than 105. They get about like 20 or 30% off or something like that, so like pretty big saving there, I suppose, if you're totally into that stuff. Meanwhile, there's also a new event called the Dragon Summit, which is actually super duper hyper mega freaking easy, provided that you're not going up against the Leviathan or the Darkness and Light dragons, because they are OP as hell. Leviathan especially because he has a shield. He has an ability which will reduce all incoming damage by 50%, and that is huge. That's huge in terms of damage reduction. So obviously it's really hard to defeat him as well. For me especially, he's a water dragon and I don't have any earth heroes, because in Destiny of Spirits there's a hierarchy. Basically metal spirits do very well against okay, I'll just start off with metal spirits do very well against wood spirits, who do very well against earth spirits, who do very well against water spirits, who do very well against fire spirits, who do very well against metal spirits. And light and dark spirits, it kind of depends on how well your luck is. You can either have great blessing, blessing, average luck, bad luck. If you have great blessing, then light spirits do well against dark spirits. If you have bad luck, then dark spirits do well against light spirits. If you have either of the other two, then they're just both sort of even. So they're pretty difficult to deal with as well. Yeah, but like of course there's the wood dragon is outrageously easy to kill because I have a level 62 Viracocha, who's metal, so he can basically hard counter the crap out of the wood dragon, so I can't wait to just Go up against the Wood Dragon tomorrow. Also, there's some new people. No, there's some new spirits being given away to players who register before tomorrow. Actually, today being 2nd of July. So anyone who registers before 3rd of July as a player, so you just basically have to download the game and maybe play through a bit. Anyone who gets that will have a super rare Bahamut wizard, Dragon Lord maybe. Bahamut also happens to be a dragon, so it's really confusing. It's really confusing what Bahamut is. Meanwhile, in Warframe, there was an infested event where Alavi is trying to bring the infested back into the star chart. We had this whole hive thing going on where like you have to basically destroy the hives and stop the infested from screwing around. The hives are protected by the nodes. Well, they were protected by nodes before you shoot them off. The nodes were a bit difficult to find sometimes. Like I always got pretty lost with where the last one is, and that basically locked me in the mission, and I basically have to give up. Also, there were some new weapons, like some sort of corpus infested gun that came out of Aladvi's event, and also we now have claws. So if you're Valkyrie, you can use claws while you're using claws when you're using Hysteria, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, all right. So I think that's all I can think of right now. StarCraft. I haven't been paying attention to tournaments lately. I don't have time. So anyway, until next time, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Yeah. Oh. In terms of channel, I've started using a new introduction graphic, which is just basically that little Twitter sign thing. Yeah. Alright, so until next time, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. But actually, you know what? The Twitter sign. This is what I meant. So, yeah.